This is one of the best performances I've seen this year, and she should definitely be nominated for an Oscar. Hello everyone, welcome to Inthearmchair. Today we're going to be discussing another Netflix produced movie, that's Luckiest Girl Alive. It stars Mila Kunis, who I haven't seen in about 6-7 years. She just must be laying low. I've always thought she was an okay to semi-decent actor. I'd definitely say Black Swan is her best performance. And alongside Mila Kunis, we've got Kiara Radio, who I haven't seen before, but definitely someone to watch. The film's based off a book, which I haven't read. 9 times out of 10, I haven't read the source material for any film that's been made, so I'm looking at it with a completely fresh perspective. I definitely enjoyed this movie, however, I will caveat and say not everybody will. It's slow in moments, it's intense, and does contain some scenes that some people will find very difficult to watch. But the film is very necessary in today's society. It starts off when we meet Annie, which is short for Tiffany, it's her nickname. Okay, anyway, there's more about that later. She's played by Mila Kunis, and she keeps having these small flashbacks to something that happened in the past, which seems to be quite gruesome. We initially don't know what that is, but let's just say I was intrigued right from the start. However, I did find the first 10 minutes or so of dialogue very fast and difficult to understand, so much so that I actually had to put on subtitles to make sure I was capturing everything. Let me know if you had the same issue. She works at a magazine, at a job that she doesn't particularly want. She acts a way that she thinks people want her to act. She's got ambitions to do more, but feels like she's put in a particular place. A key theme throughout this film is imposter syndrome, and we learn more about this through a series of flashbacks of her time in college. Maybe it's the English system, or maybe it's just my own personal experience, but I never thought school was as dramatic as they always make out in these films. I don't know whether it is very different in the US, or I just had a great experience. But it's all about her navigating through these different social societies. The flashbacks are interlinked with what is being hinted about in the present day, and do an excellent job of just overall story building and keeping it intrigued. When Annie's at college, her character is played by Kiara Radio, who is superb. This is one of the best performances I've seen this year, and she should definitely be nominated for an Oscar. The range of emotions and angst that she shows throughout the film cannot be skipped over. She really conveys everything that Annie went through at this time, and really helps you to feel connected with her character. Throughout the present day, Mila Kunis acts as the narrator, which is usually a giveaway sign that you can't trust the narrative or the story that's being told. I mean, there's even a line in here that has words to that effect. So this created a slight problem for me, as I didn't fully commit to believing her story, as I was always on the lookout for some sort of twist or shift or narrative change. I guess my film instinct was just on alert that I can't believe everything that I'm watching. It left me always second guessing everything. However, the overall tone of this movie was brilliant. It had me intrigued throughout. I've used that word a number of times because that's the best way to describe this. I wanted to know what was going to happen and had high anticipation. I was never bored at any moment. There are fantastic exchanges between Annie and her fiance, with the standout moment being in the car. It was riveting and perfectly showed off the small intricacies and dynamics of a relationship. Another theme / dynamic that ran throughout was the relationship between parent and child, Annie and her mum. And this is mainly about what parents think is best for their kids and what the kid actually wants to do. I think we probably all went through something similar like this growing up. And what I liked about the film is that it wasn't trying to push the message of how you should try and deal with this, but acted as more of a conversation starter that you would have with your family and friends. You can always try and do best for your kids, push them in the right direction, give them the right morals, but then ultimately they still go and do something else. I can personally attest to that. And what I liked is how some themes were subtle and some were right in your face, which is exactly what needed to be said. Now, I spoke about Mila Kunis at the top of the review, and I definitely think this is one of her best performances, if not the best performance that she's given in her career. Not as good as her co-star, but definitely strong. The same emotions that a younger version of herself brought to the screen, I felt she carried on as an adult. So the continuity and correlation between the two characters was fantastic. The only real issue I had was the ending. Felt like it was a bit abrupt. Things were not necessarily wrapped up in the way that I felt they should. I can't go into it anymore without spoiling, but I do feel like the overall message could have hit home a bit harder and would have been more satisfying. Overall, the film was good. It had great acting, brilliant direction, and a powerful message. I would strongly recommend this film to everyone, and it's one of the best films I've seen on Netflix this year. I'm going to give it 4 stars. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.